Hey, what's going on? It's your boy back at you with another vid. I'm sitting here chilling out. Sorry about the darkness, y'all, but I want to talk to y'all about the Golden State Warriors, and I want to talk about the difficult schedule they have. The road ahead. And I've looked at the schedule, and Steve Kerr has had a irritating habit of resting players, and Andre Iguodala hasn't played a game all season. You could have, and I love Andre Iguodala because Andre Iguodala is a legend in the Bay Area, Finals MVP, um, you know, stand-up guy, um, 4 championships. I get it, but when is Andre Iguodala gonna play? He ain't played a game all year, and they come up with the excuse about how they use him to mentor these young guys, to mentor Moody, to mentor Wiseman, to mentor Jonathan Kuminga, Anthony Lamb. Look, the Golden State Warriors, they need wins right now. As you know, the Golden State Warriors are 14 and 13 on the season. And Warriors have a real difficult schedule. In the next 7 games, they play tomorrow in Milwaukee. They play Wednesday in Indiana. That's not going to be a walk in the park. Indiana already beat the Warriors at the Chase Center. Friday, they have the Joel Embiid, James Harden, the Philadelphia 76ers in Philly. That's not going to be easy. Sunday, they have a game against the Toronto Raptors. In Toronto, not a real easy game. And I know the last 2 games, they got Brooklyn, they got the Knicks and the Brooklyn Nets. And then I think they rest for 3 days, and then Christmas Day, they got the Memphis Grizzlies, the team that they eliminated last year in 6 games in the Western Conference semifinals. And I know they want the Warriors bad. So all this bullshitting that they're doing, they don't have time to be playing around. That this 8-game stretch could make or break the season for the Golden State Warriors. Because if you really look at it, they have to win the rest. They have to win these games. And I understand, Klay Thompson and the past 2 years with his injury situation, but those injuries are 2 and 3 years old now. They should play him on back-to-backs, because if you're gonna play him on a back-to-back, at least play him in limited minutes. But he needs to be out there in the fourth quarter, because we all know that. And Jordan, don't get me wrong, Jordan Poole is turning into a solid player. I'm not going to say great yet, because he has to be more consistent. He hit 20 points the other night against the Boston Celtics. This is what they need for him to do. But he needs to cut down on the turnovers. He needs to cut down on traveling. He carries the ball a lot. He has to work. He has to play a little bit better on defense. So they need Klay Thompson. And I know Klay Thompson is not what he used to be, but as of late, he had a great game. He had 34 points the other night. So did Curry, had 32 points. We all know Curry is Mr. Consistent. He's even getting better on defense too. But my point I'm trying to make, Golden State Warriors, they need to stop playing around. That this 8-game stretch could make or break the season. You don't have time to be resting people. You don't have if you was 20-4, okay, You could lose a few games and it wouldn't hurt you. But you don't have time to be resting players and you're in the AFC of the West. And the Warriors need to pick it up. That they need to get at least a 6 or a 7 game winning streak. They need to get some type of winning streak together. Because the Warriors do not want to be in that play-in situation. You don't want that. You want to at least be a 4th or a 5th seed. The 5th seed is okay, but 5th seeds you would start on the road. But at least a 4th seed, you at least get a home series. You the two games in the playoffs would start at the Chase Center. Then you can go out on the road or whatever. Because I know they got experience. So I know they're not scared of playing on the road. But the point I'm trying to make is that they need to pick it up. That they need to pick it up. They're beating, they got to play better than this. And I know Andrew Wiggins didn't play the other night against the Indiana Pacers. But a lot of those starters for the Indiana Pacers didn't play. And they lose. And Curry, for some reason, had a bad game. That can't happen when half of the starters was out. I'm just saying, Golden State, they need to stop bullshitting. They need to stop bullshitting. They need to be more consistent. The bench has got to play better. Dante DiVincenzo, JaMychal Green, Moses Moody, Jonathan Kuminga has been playing better as of late. Anthony Lamb has been there, but they have to do it on a consistent basis. And I like Dante, but he need to cut down on them turnovers. Because them turnovers is really, the second unit is really, the turnovers are really hurting the Warriors. And I will be watching that game against the Milwaukee Bucks. And we're going to see where they're at. Because this is not going to, and plus the Warriors have struggled on the road. I think they only won what 2 games on the road all season, if I'm not mistaken. At some point, I mean, they gotta pick it up. You do not want to be no 6th seed, and then you gotta play in. Then you gotta go play the number 1 seed. You don't want that. You don't want to play. You don't want to start the playoffs on the road. I mean, I understand the '95 Rockets done it, but everybody has not won a championship starting the playoffs on the road. They need to get it together. They need to get it together now. But can they do it? And I understand that, they need, James Wiseman, they sent him to the D-League. And I understand they sent him to Santa Cruz. I get it that he needs more time to grow up. But James Wiseman has to step up, man. You ain't got time to be babysitting people. Andre Iguodala sitting on the bench laughing and joking, and the Warriors out there getting their ass kicked. He need to be out there playing. If we don't do nothing but play on a minute restriction, they need to do something. Because if they continue to fall further and further behind, they're going to be in that play-in situation. And you do not want that. At least a 5th, a 4th, or a 5th seed. Because that's the way it's looking right now. Because they don't have the depth they had last year. They had Beliza. They had GP2 healthy. They had Damon Lee. They had, who else they had? They had Otto Porter. You had Juan Toscano, even though he didn't really score much, but he brought you energy and played defense coming off the bench. I don't understand why Juan Toscano doesn't get more minutes with the Warriors. Because he did more minutes with the Lakers because he does provide defense. He's athletic. But I'm just saying, come on. Come on, Golden State. Y'all got to stop bullshitting. That everybody's relaxed. How you relaxed? You're 14-13 on the season. The season, it's time to save the season. Or if you don't win these games, you could be out of the playoff picture. You know how embarrassing this would be? An NBA champion that don't make the playoffs? And they haven't really played consistent all year. So I'm going to need for them to pick it up. Steve Kerr need to stop resting all these players. Every time you turn around, he keeps resting Stephen Curry. Stephen Curry is the highest paid player in the NBA. His ass should be out. And I love Steph. Steph is one of my favorite players. Is my favorite player in the NBA. But at the end of the day, Stephen Curry needs to be out there playing. Klay Thompson, those injuries were 2 years ago. It's time to start making excuses, and it's time to start playing ball. Draymond has been scoring more. I noticed that about him. I'm not going to say much about Draymond, but I would need for him to score on a consistent basis. Give me 12 a night on a consistent basis. I ain't saying 20, but give me 12. But he brings the defense, he brings the rebound, he brings the assist. He's been playing a lot better. Kevon Looney has stepped up. But I'm going to need for him to be more consistent and stop staying in foul trouble so much. Once he cut down the fouls, he'll be all right. I'm just saying. They need to have a sense of urgency. Because you're going, January be here before you know it. Before you know it, it'll be All-Star break. And you're in the AC. And you don't want that, and they don't want that uphill climb. I'm just saying. Warriors need to wake up. Or it could be or they could be going home in the first round. Or might not make the playoffs at all. But that's all I got to say. That's it. Deuces.